Mr. President, thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring forward this motion. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this motion is being co-sponsored by about 26 distinguished senators of this great chamber. Mr. President, the motion is on devastating storm in Obosi, Mpo, and Oruku communities of Anambra Central Senatorial District. The Senate notes with deep concern the devastating storm that took place over last weekend at Obosi, Mpo, and Oruku communities in the Idemili North local government area of Anambra State, which destroyed a lot of homes and rendered the residents of that area homeless. Shops, markets, and roads were not also spared, as they are all in a state of great devastation. The residents were forced to flee and take refuge in neighboring towns and villages. Properties and goods worth billions of naira were destroyed. This worsened the state of erosion sites that were already ravaging the areas. Mr. President, the Senate notes also that Obosi, the hometown of the former Commonwealth Secretary General, Emeka Anyaoku, and also one of our great colleagues, Senator Mike Ajebu, and also another important commercial town which deals on auto spare parts with a landmass of 16.9 square kilometers and more than 14 active erosion sites, has lost about 4.02 square kilometers of their landmass. That is about 23.7% of its total landmass to erosion menace. The Senate notes that unless immediate steps are taken to control the widening erosion gully, the residents of these communities will continue to be exposed to greater risk of loss of lives and properties. The Senate is also concerned that these gully erosion sites, which usually cover more than 1 kilometer and ranges in size from 10 to 15 meters wide to 15 to 30 meters deep, are posing a great threat to the economic activities of Mpo, Obosi, Oruku, and other communities around that vicinity. And the safety of the people living in the areas is also in danger. Mr. President, the Senate is aware that of all the states in the southeastern zone, Anambra State has been identified as the worst hit by erosion menace, with over 1,000 active erosion sites existing in the state. The Senate is further aware of recent reports and studies indicating that over 20% of the total landmass of Anambra State is being devastated by different stages of flooding and gully erosion. Mr. President, the Senate is worried that Mpo, which is a major commercial town in Anambra State and indeed in the southeast, with a landmass of 13.8 square kilometers, has lost about 2.09 square kilometers, which is 15% of their total landmass to gully erosion, affecting about 16,000 people, some of whom have been rendered homeless. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Senate notes further that the worst incidents of this erosion menace occurred during the rainy season between the months of March and October of every year and constitute a major disruption to the social and economic activities of these communities. The Senate is desirous of taking immediate remedial measures to check the scourge of erosion menace in these communities and provide immediate relief to the affected communities. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Senate hereby resolves to request the Ecological Funds Office to immediately visit the affected areas, provide remedy and advance solutions to erosion menace. The Senate further resolves to direct the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide relief materials and all other support as may be necessary to mitigate the damages suffered by these communities. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I so move. Thank you.
Senator.
This very important motion, I want to say that it's a horrifying experience for some of us who may not have experienced erosion to wake up in the morning and see that suddenly your home no longer exists, or the school doesn't exist, or the church, they don't exist because of erosion. Every single rainy season, we have IDP in Anambra North, and I believe in Anambra Central. It's a recurring experience, and it's a nightmare. Mr. President, dear colleagues, it appears as if it's a story. It is not a story, it's reality, and a very scary one. In Anambra North in particular, every single year we lose almost 50% of our land mass, and this includes the farmlands. It is terrifying. Just 2 weeks ago, we lost 15 people. And so, Mr. President, I want to sincerely support this motion and to add that in addition to Anambra Central, Anambra North is really in their need of this ecological fund, because we live along the River Niger, and every year the devastating effect on our farmlands, our homes, is a very, very pathetic experience. I would like to join my sister to plead to our dear colleagues that as we go to the prayers, that Anambra State, particularly the 2 zones, should be considered, and ecological fund, including NEMA, should be deployed to find a lasting solution, number one, and to ensure that the people from this area learn what to do when such issues arise, i.e., are there plans that must be put in place to curb erosion? Are there studies that will make sandification put in place so that we can avoid the devastating effects of this horrible menace called erosion? Mr. President, I submit, and we seek for your help and your intervention. I so submit. Thank you.
Mr. President, our distinguished colleagues have just moved a very detailed and apt motion which could not have come at a better time than now. However, this hollow chamber will recall that last week I made mention of the biggest motorcycle and auto spare parts market in West Africa, Nkwannewi Market, which is situated along 100-foot road in Newi, in a neighboring senatorial zone next to that of our distinguished Senator Ekunife. The market is currently threatened by the same erosion menace, thereby forcing traders to offload their containers far away from their warehouses and shops, leaving them with no option than to use wheelbarrows to convey their goods to their shops as a result of erosion-stricken roads. Mr. President, I humbly request the addition of a prayer requesting a delegation from the Ecological Fund Office to be sent down to Anambra South to have a first-hand view and assessment of 100-foot road in Newi erosion site, Ekulobia, also the home of our former Vice President, late Dr. Alex Ekweme, Oko, Umunze, Ibinta Road, Agolo, Nanka, Goli erosion site, Nnamdi University campus in Newi, as well as Umunze erosion site in Ogagwata, to witness the deplorable state of infrastructure and untold suffering men and women go through as a result of erosion menace. I so second, Mr. President.
Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr.